What's up, guys and gals? Tanner Larson here, along with my business partner, Matthew Stafford from Build, Grow, Scale. And today we're going to do another one of our Shopify roasts, where we're basically going to go pick one of the top Shopify stores in terms of volume, not necessarily in terms of conversion or anything else, but just straight up volume and ranking. And we're going to tear into it. So we went down and we looked at some of the top stores. Why do we got to get these notifications to go away? Okay, cool. And so we decided, hey, let's pick another one. We've already done Kylie Jenner, Kylie Cosmetics. We've done Diff Eyewear, and those have been really well received. And it's like, hey, when are you going to do another one? So we're going to do the number 10 store ranked on Shopify right now, which is called RipNDip. RipNDip clothing. We had no idea this thing even existed. We went to the site and we were like, ugh. And so we had to actually Google it because we knew nothing about it. Matt and I are clearly the demographic of this site because we had never heard of it. So it's actually a Zoomies brand. So if you're familiar with Zoomies, the skate brand, so this guy back in 2006 started writing RipNDip all over the place. And then other skaters started copying it. So once he saw that, he's like, hey, let me make some shirts. And then those shirts sold. And then it turned into this brand. And then Zoomies has it now. And it's a Zoomies brand. So not only is it sold retail, it's sold on Amazon as well, but it's also sold through a Shopify store, which we're going to go ahead and dive into. We have no idea what their revenue numbers are. All we know is that according to the way that the stores rank, it is the number 10, I guess, largest.
Yeah, as far as traffic.
As far as traffic goes on Shopify right now. So we decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and dive into it. It's the first apparel company we've publicly critiqued. Matt and I actually work with a number of different large-scale apparel companies that we optimize their stores and everything else. So we've got a good insight into the apparel industry and how those sites need to flow. So this should be a good one. Now, I know this being our third or fourth critique we've done, we know members are always, or people watching are always like, hey, how do you critique my store? I'd love to have you critique my store, maybe just privately. Well, we have an option for that. I'll tell you guys about that in a little bit later, but just let's go ahead and dive into the critique right now and let's start ripping it apart. Now, this is not scripted. Matt and I have not gone through the store other than briefly to make sure it's one that we could critique, and then we had to Google a little bit of information on it. Okay, so this will be new to us. We'll be seeing it as we see it, as if we were browsing it. And also, actually, why don't you, before we jump into the critique, real quick, why don't you explain like how we use data to make our decisions? Okay. Not just, hey, change this.
Yeah, so we do, obviously, because this is what we do 24/7, we have like in our head what we consider to be best practices. But all sites are contextual, and so we don't just go into a site and say, okay, because this is wrong, we're going to change it. What we do is we make sure that we're using Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, and we collect data, and then we use the data to make the final decision. So we call it data-driven, and really, there's certain things that I'm positive that we'll be able to go through the site and find that we know hurt conversions, but the solution is usually in how we build that map of what the customer, how they journey through the site, and then we optimize for that.
So along with that, like we'd say, like if we were working with this site, like we would work with our amplified partner clients, which is when we actually come in and become the back-end optimization specialist for the company, we would suggest all these changes, but before we made any of the changes, we would tag everything with Google Tag Manager, use Google Analytics, build out the data map so that we could then test each one of those things to make sure that it is truly a win. So in this case, understand that we would never actually make any of the changes without first consulting the data. Second of all, we would always compare it against where it was at before we made the change. Second, what we're going to show you today is the best practices, the things that we know without a shadow of a doubt would, I guess there could be a doubt because not everything is perfect, right? But these are the things that win 99% of the time. And we're going to be showing you what these problems are. And now, just because this is a top store and a lot of people copy what they do doesn't mean that it's right.
Right. Yeah, and we also use split testing software too. So all of our tests are run through an A/B split test against the same traffic, same time of day. That way we know that it's not an anomaly based off of when we tracked it, but it's literally traffic for traffic, what works best.
Yeah. And then so for you watching this, you're like, great, you're ripping apart a store that makes millions. Who cares? It doesn't help me. Actually, it does. Because everything that we're talking about on these bigger sites, one of the reasons we knock out the popular sites is because people always say, oh man, this site's doing so well, I should copy them, and we want to disprove that. Number two, the things we're going to show you, if you just took them away and looked at your own site the same way we're talking about this site, and you saw, oh man, I'm doing that, and you changed it to the way we're suggesting it, I guarantee you would see a massive lift in your site simply by implementing the stuff we're going to be publicly sharing about this site that they're doing wrong. Okay, and we'll point out what they're doing good too, so don't think we're just going to talk crap about them, because obviously they're doing something right.
Yeah, and a lot of what we talk about is principle-based too.
Correct.
So we do it based off of principles, not just tactics, because tactics expire. They run out, and then you don't want to have to constantly be doing that. When we look at the store, we do it based off of buyer behavior, which is usually very consistent from store to store to store, because it's how people interact with stuff. So it's a principle. It doesn't really expire.
Yep. So as we go through this, keep an open mind to the fact that, hey, you may be making some of these same mistakes or same things, and how can you apply what we're showing to your store? Whether it's apparel or supplements or whatever your widget you're selling, it doesn't matter. Again, it's principle-based. And then we'll also talk specifically about some of the apparel things we see on there as well, okay? So with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. Let me pull up the screen real quick. And, hang on, guys. Tech is not my thing. And somewhere here, there we go. Let's make sure it's coming up. Okay, cool. So what you guys see right here is RipNDip clothing. Again, Matt and I had no idea this existed. Man, I got something itching my nose real quick. And we still literally don't know anything about it other than it's a skate brand. And apparently this Lord Nerval is the name of the cat. And wherever this cat went, this guy. And all he does is like hug weed and flip people off, and people love him for it. So he's like their mascot. And I mean, they literally have an entire line of clothing dedicated to this cat. Okay, but let's just scroll the site real quick. So we've got this, this reminds me of the movie Half Baked. Remember that one where they're like the potheads and I don't know. That's just what the logo reminds me of. But anyway,
that's kind of what they're going for.
They are. I think it's a skater demographic. They definitely talk a lot about weed and stuff like that. But anyway, here's their site, movies, videos. We'll get into it in a minute. This is the way the site looks. Okay, everything has to be hovered over. We're just going to scroll the homepage real quick before we start critiquing it.
Doesn't look like there's any type of organization.
It's just a mass. Yeah, it's the free sticker pack in the middle of the thing. Oh, let's look at some socks and shorts. And
so the first thing, the principles that the homepage is supposed to carry out, one is trust, which they obviously have a massive brand, so people trust them. The second thing that the homepage is supposed to do is give you easy navigation.
This is overwhelming.
Yeah, so rather than give you some choices where you can select what you want to go look at, they're basically, it looks very unorganized.
And yeah, there's no, so here's another thing, like, why don't you explain paradox of choice real quick?
Yeah, that too. So the more choices you have isn't actually better, it's worse.
We think it's good.
Yeah, so we want them to go, oh, well, we want them to know that we offer this, and we want them to know that we offer this. Well, they should do that through categories, because the guy that wants to buy the skateboard doesn't want to scroll 3/4 of the page down before he finds the skateboards that they have. So they should have a couple key things on here, especially because of how many products they have. Search on their homepage should be very prominent. And I don't know if our video thing's in front of it, or they just don't have it.
They have it, but it's real small. So yeah, right here it says search our store, little icon, and nothing happens there except it activates a search even though nothing happened. But then you have to click the text to get the box to show up. So the number one thing about a site, whether it's homepage or anything else, is it has to be intuitive for a user who's never been to your site. Now, the problem that we all have is that we visit our site so much that it's intuitive to us.
Yeah, we're very familiar with it.
And, you know, one of the first things that Matt and I do with a client is when we go through the site, first we go through it and we dissect it. We do what we call a site audit, which is just the super detailed nitty-gritty breakdown of every possible aspect and problem area that we see or thing we want to clarify. But the other thing is we go through it with the site owner, and every time the site owner has to, like, we'll start to do something and they'll go, oh, wait, you got to do this, and they're like, wait, you're having to explain it to me. Do you have this conversation with every person who visits your site? Well, no. Right. So how do they know what to do? So in this case,
we always say that your site is your conversation with your customer. So it needs to be able to carry on that conversation with them the same way you would. So it needs to be very, well, not explanative, but it needs to be able to explain.
Without third-party help.
Right, exactly. So we call it clarity and friction. So it's either very clear or it has points of friction, and anything that's not very clear, we call it a friction point, and you want to remove that because what you're trying to do is make it as easy as possible for someone to visit your site, trust you, find what they're looking for, and then check out and spend money with you. That's really the goal of your site.
So we'll break down some of the stuff below the fold here in a second, but I want to stick on search for a second because it's so powerful. Now, when I hit the search button by accident thinking it was going to pop up the search bar, it actually told me that there's 926 products on this store. Okay. All right, which that's a whole lot of product. We recommend our clients, if they have more than 4 products, that they emphasize search above the fold and on every page of the site. So emphasize search means basically treat search the same way Amazon does. Big search bar that's top of the site, helps you find everything. We don't actually use the icon. We actually spell out the word search because we know what a magnifying glass is, but clicks and data has shown that many people don't know what the icons mean.
Yep. You need to add text with them. Yep. It would be the same for your cart, same for your menu.
Correct. Anywhere you're using icons, you want to include the text. The other thing is in this case specifically, the box needs to be there, but this box should honestly, with as many products as they have, it should probably take up this whole header.
Yeah. And the box should just be there without someone clicking on it, because then that way it's very, again, intuitive that they're going to use it to search for things.
And talk about microtext.
Well, we actually have...
What is it first?
Microtext is a text inside of the search bar. Search our store, which they're clearly going to search the store since they're on it. So that is a wasted chance to actually influence the buyer search attitude. We actually use top sellers, and then we put microtext inside the search column, and we've watched it. It's promoted more searches.
More people are using the search because we are leading them with microtext to search for certain things.
Yeah, so we can actually change the ranking. We'll take like the top 10 product, and if it's more profitable, we can get it searched more times by adding it in the search bar with microtext. So those are things that you can do with your search bar. The other thing is we track it. Not only can you use it to find out what your people are searching for most, or for them to find products, but you can find out what they're searching for most and then make that a highlight on your site. So if someone is searching a particular item on your store, typically the 80-20 rule, 80% more than everything else, you can then make that a tab in your menu. You can make it
to the front of the homepage.
Yeah, part of your homepage. You could add that microtext into the search. There's a ton of things that you can do. And typically we find that a really good store that highlights it well gets about 7 to 9% search, and it accounts for about 30% of their revenue.
So let's say that again, because that's a huge metric people don't get. So 7 to 9% of the people who visit the store will search.
Will use the site search.
And that 7 to 9%, those who purchase out of that percentage account for 30% of the store's revenue.
And that's when it's very prominent. So a lot of sites when we go to, they're typically in the 3 to 4% range, and we know right away that that's a big lever that you can pull on your site.
And this is if you have 4 or more products. A site that has this many products and categories and things like that,
make a huge difference.
Huge. So massively profitable. So the search is the first thing here. The second thing, I have no idea. I don't even want to watch this video.
Yeah, I don't either.
But it says it's called customer service. We have to just see. So 54 seconds. Okay, it's some kind of spoofy fun.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So it's some kind of customer service, whatever. All right, so.
No, well, I guess it talks to their audience.
It talks to their audience, but yeah. Is it helping them make a sale?
No.
No. Just like, so this little icon right here, this is the cat icon. Oh, no, it's not. That's their account icon. I thought it was the one that took you to the Lord Nerval, or Lord, whatever the cat's name is.
If you click there, it goes to account?
Yeah, I'm reading the icon in the bottom. takes you to a login. That's not at all what I thought it was.
No.
And
turn off your
I don't know how I can get
click
that.
the settings one. Turn them off.
Right here?
I don't know.
Where's my notifications?
Probably have to go to, you're on Facebook, so somewhere on Facebook. I have an Apple, I don't know.
Yeah,
PC,
I don't know.
so.
Okay, sorry guys. Let's go back. So anyway, the video for one, if it's the video is cool, I understand it speaks to their audience. There's a different place it can be, or way down below the fold.
Or they can put it as a like almost a link on a page.
Correct.
You know.
But the idea here is to sell, right? And to get them deep. Well, actually, is to get them deeper into a product. This doesn't do that. This Rotator here going to the fall collection, not so much. Flagship store, lookbooks. So their navigation just leaves a lot to be desired. Lord Nermal, that's what he's called.
But so literally, rather than shop all items and then take them to this,
which is just like the homepage,
which is the selection though, they should go back to shop all items. Right here, they should pare this menu down and figure out a way.
What are your categories?
Yeah.
So you've got your outerwear, hoodies, rain jackets, whatever the heck that is.
So it would basically be like micro commitments. They can select a category. Let's try turning it off, see if that works. They could select a category first, and then once they get into that category, then they can make a selection. But here again, you're going to run into the paradox of choice where you're literally getting all these different things in your face and go, yeah, there's a lot here. I'm just going to come back later when I have more time.
Yeah.
And usually later never happens.
So explaining like a basic apparel category hierarchy real quick.
Yeah, you would, I mean, really, literally when you go to shop, we even order on the page the way that you would shop. You would pick the type of product. So it'd be a hat, shirt, long sleeve, whatever. And then the next thing that you would do is pick your color, then you pick your size. So just like you would go through those different selections when you go shopping, you do that same thing as you would pare down your choices in order to help people figure out what they're looking for on your store.
If we go back to the homepage though, real quick, and then we'll go deeper in a second. The homepage is basically the same layout as the next level down. Right. So on your homepage, we basically would say that between 4 and 6 products, individual products should be shown on your homepage, no more than that. Anything more than that should be broken down into categories. Okay, and so you take your 4 to 6 best products, and we say 4 to 6 because it depends on how your site structure is laid out. If it's bigger images, then it would be, 2 products, and 2 products equals 4.
Yeah,
if there's 3,
types,
correct,
even,
which would be more category based, right?
Yeah. So like say for example, their fall 2018 is a big seller. That could be one category, and then the next category could be like their skateboards, and the next category could be their outerwear or whatever. I really haven't looked at the sites.
The more overwhelming you make people think like I'm giving people choices here, allowing them to zone in on exactly what they want. That's what we think we're doing. The reality is, and the data, and when you do like Hotjar recordings or true conversion recordings where you're actually recording the sessions on the page, watching what the browser does, you literally see the overwhelm happen in the consumer as they're trying to browse this site.
It's called cognitive overload.
Yeah.
So literally the more thinking that you force them to do, the worse. And all the studies and everything that we read, like our attention span is less and less and less. It's not getting greater. So we're so conditioned by the different things that we go through that we want that instant gratification. So instant gratification here would mean you help them find what they're looking for very quickly so that then they can go find or go to that category and scratch that itch, and then they would find the next thing that they want to look for to pare down the offering again. But when you overwhelm them like this, they're going to spend their time browsing and looking and laughing at a YouTube video that doesn't do anything to sell them something before their boss walks up, and then they got to exit the site without buying. Like all this stuff Like you have to think about that. When you get them to your store, that's hard enough. Get them to your store, you want to sell them something.
Totally. Now, one more thing, we'll start clicking into products in a second, but if you look at me hovering, you just notice like it's not, they have an image rotator, right? So as you hover, it shows a new image. That's great. We love that. The thing is, though, is they need to be consistent. And what I don't know why these are still coming up. But anyway, so you have the product image, and then you have a hero image, which is where the person is wearing the item. Except when you scroll over here to this hoodie, now it's just a close-up of the pattern. And then you go back here, it's a hero image, inside of the jacket, hero image. It's just very inconsistent across the product types. You need your imagery to be consistent. If you want to do one hero image and one a static of the product, which is what we recommend, then you need to do that across all your product types. Okay, the other thing is there's no information about the product. So there's too many products here to begin with, but if you were highlighting your 4 to 6 best products, you would want to show the price, show the reviews, things like that underneath it, the name of the product. Give them some text, some contextual information to allow them to show a little more information so they don't have to hover over it to see it, okay? So I have to click on this eyeball thing. It just keeps staring at me. So, you know, the other thing is the animation in the logo, it's distracting. It's cool to the site owner. It's fun, but it's not helping convey this or move the person to the sale. The whole purpose of this site is to make money. Yeah. It's not to make people smile and, you know, just like, oh, that's a cute cat turning into a pothead logo. No, that's not the goal. The goal is to sell. So everything on this site should be designed to streamline that, okay? Again, we never finished talking about this, but this cat icon, this I already forgot his name, Lord Kitty Cat, whatever. Nermal. His thing is it's a big part of his brand, okay? So having that cat icon and they click on it, it takes them to the cat collection. I could almost go with that. I'm not a huge fan of it, but having it go to the login page it's just going to kill a click. Yeah. All right, because you go into click that, it should be 3 clicks on a site, and from any page on a site, no more than 3 clicks to get them to a purchase page. Okay, but now you just lost one.
It shouldn't be animated either. They could use the cat as their logo.
True.
Or the RipNDip, the name, but really the logo doesn't do anything to promote the sale other than if people recognize it, it builds trust.
The other thing, back over to the account side, is that 90% of Shopify stores don't use the account function.
Right.
And if they do, the people who need it can go down to the footer, click log into my account, and access it there. It should not be in the navigation. Yeah. And if you look at this, now that we're
90% of their users won't have an account.
Correct.
So you're forcing 90% of your users to figure out what that icon is and what it does, because obviously it stands out more than just the plain text. So now you're making 90% of your users go through that when only 10% at the max are ever going to use it. I think it would probably be quite a bit less than that. Yeah. And I will say one good thing, because we haven't said too much good about the site so far, that they do is their button colors. It's called having a hierarchy of focus, and their button color stands out from everything else on the page. All of their other branding, nothing on there is black. And so when you get to this page, other than the animation and the logo, your eye does go to the cart button. And also they say that you should have a primary function and a secondary. On a product page like this, the secondary function would be the size. And so literally it does that very well. There's a couple best practices. We know that icons on the add to cart button help a lot with it. Also adding the price so that it's populated in the add to cart button. Those both help a lot with your add to carts. So that's something they could do to boost that, but they're already doing very good with the hierarchy of focus.
True.
Even though I think their menu...
Well, the menu did you notice that the deeper we got into the site, the more complex the menu got?
Yeah,
and so it should get simpler.
Yeah, it's literally so much stuff.
So this huge menu right here would actually be better served on the home page than on the product page. This whole top menu could go away.
Yeah.
And this could be the menu. I think it's still too big, but
you've given people the choices. There's no point in clicking on all products. You have footwear, socks. You might as well combine those two. Like, you should figure out how many of these that you could get into a smaller selection so you get that micro commitment. And then each time that you do that, you're supposed to clear away distraction.
Not add to it.
They've said, okay, I'm interested in this jacket, but you're giving them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Almost 19 other choices.
Things to take their, yeah.
It's insane the amount of load, cognitive load that they have here. So they literally probably sell a lot or get a lot of traffic, at least. I don't know how much they sell. Probably could Google some numbers, but they get a lot of traffic off of their brand. The way to monetize that would be to clean this up and really make it less overwhelming. So
the other thing is, now we're down here. I mean, imagery for the jacket, cool. No hero image, which in apparel, hero images do a huge lift to your conversion numbers and your add to cart percentage because it shows it on a real human. And that obviously, when people are buying tangible goods, the hardest part of buying them online is not being able to touch them. So having the hero image or the video or something like that is one of the best things you can do to up that little add to cart and conversion percentage.
I do like their product description because it's their personality. So they literally put humor in it, like got offered $5,000 for it, denied the offer. Scan it and make it a jacket for you guys. Thank me later. So, I mean, you could give some, if you go to like Allbirds, you could go to that site real quick. You could give some product descriptions about the material, how it acts. Gonna come up. And you can just go behind the tab right there.
I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Go to allbirds.com, just click one of their shoes and then go to a product description. These guys do a really good job. Yeah.
There's any shoes?
Any one of them.
Can't click on anything.
So scroll down. So right here, all these things are super informative. There's not a lot of copy with it. A lot of times the icon will literally like convey what they're saying with the words too. I'm sure that all of these are really good. There's other ones that talk about order, release, and a bunch of other stuff. We've definitely went through this site and mimicked some of the things. They could do that same thing with that jacket along with their humor, and then literally then that product description becomes beneficial to the user. 90% of what they read there says nothing about actually the quality or what the jacket's made out of. Is it breathable or whatever? It just says 100% polyester. So they could definitely beef them up a little bit, but I do like that they use the humor in there too.
Yeah, no, I like that.
It's their brand.
It makes sense. Like, but you know, again, other things that people care about here is, you know, ship times, things like that, which is one of the reasons we always use tabs on the product page where it can be the product description, the specs, you know, returns, because with apparel, returns are huge. They want to know, okay, if it doesn't fit me, can I get it back? And they don't want to have to go look for it somewhere else, which I don't even know. Yeah, we always shipping, ordering. If we always say that rather than force them to go through all the information, if you break it up into tabs, they don't have to redefine what they're looking for. They literally can just click on the tab that's appropriate to them, get the information they want to make the decision, and then add to cart or go look for a different product. And we want to prevent the need for them to scroll forever, because the longer they scroll, it used to be a sign of like the more engaged they are. The problem is now the more scroll there is, the more distraction there is, and the more chance of them getting distracted and bouncing. So if we can keep them within this like money area of the site, and the tabs all keep them there, keep them closer to the buttons and everything, you have a higher likelihood of getting that add to cart. We also use that as a metric to find the information that helps them make a buying decision. So if they're scrolling and we notice that like the farther they get down, say they get 3/4 of the way and then all of a sudden the conversion percentage goes up, we look 3/4 of the way down the page or watch the videos of what they're looking at or what they're reading and say, oh, okay, that's the information that they need in order to make a buying decision. Let's move that up. And so when we move that up on the page and it forces them to scroll less, we see the conversion for the page go up quite a bit, because
not everybody's going to scroll down 3/4 of the way to find that information. So by us knowing that like somewhere in there, there's some gold, we move that up above the fold, and then the page itself works better and converts higher.
Absolutely. So size chart, let's see. Oh, no, okay. That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
All right. So they just uploaded this size chart. It's basically a JPEG that they uploaded to their Shopify store. It took me off the page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Took it to a different area.
And there's no navigation to go back to where I was. Yes, it opened it in a new window, but if you're on a mobile device, that's a serious pain in the butt. Because now, like, especially if you're on like one of those Apple products, right? They're really hard to use. I'm just a Samsung guy, guys. But anyway, so that's no good. This should be a pop-up, or if it doesn't pop up, it should be something that loads in the page or is already on the page. It could honestly be one of their images.
You could go to, we take care of a belt company that we're very proud of. It's a super good brand. They do things, yeah, very, very professional. So you could literally do a pop-up just like they do here. You'll see we use microtext where it says see how in the description. And then if you click that, it literally just pops up a window right on the site. They can watch the information that's relevant to what they just clicked on. When they're done, they close it, and then they can move on.
So we're giving them the information they need very clearly, but without taking them off the page, because any distraction, you take somebody off the page, guess what happens? Your add to cart percentage goes down. Your conversion rate goes down. These are all interruptions in the buying process. That customer journey from when the time they land on your site to the time they leave it, every step of that needs to be smoothed out, and all the friction points along the way removed, so that you have the highest conversion path through each step into the purchase.
And so the other thing that we call it is offering them the information at the right time. Like, it wouldn't be, you wouldn't put your size chart on your homepage because people aren't ready for your size chart yet. So here, like, this is when they're trying to figure out what size fits them. To be honest, we would move this size chart up next to the sizing buttons. Just put it in a little text right there. They would click it. Then the pop-up window comes up, shows them how to size it. They can close it, pick their size. But literally what's happened here, you have to scroll down below to figure out and see that link before you actually can know what size it is.
And honestly, this pink is not an easy color to see.
No.
The font size as well is too small.
I think they're probably about 16.
I think that's 16. Yeah. I think it's maybe just the screen resolution because it looks small to me. But anyway, guys, if your font size is smaller than 16-point font, bump it up to at least 16-point font. Anything smaller than that is too small for internet.
Especially on a mobile.
Yeah.
So they could move that up and create a much better experience on the product page here.
And the other thing is yes, I mean, okay, RipNDip is obviously a Zoomies brand. A lot of the audience, I'm sure, is familiar with who RipNDip is. They know the brand, but that doesn't mean all their audience is. The other thing that this site does not convey at all is trust. Other than if you know the brand, you feel comfortable with it, but there is no indication of trust or authenticity anywhere on this site. Yeah, there's no social proof. There's no, reviews. There's no made in the USA or fast shipping times or satisfaction guarantee or anything that just
those are all things that a shopper wants to know.
And the shopper probably doesn't look for those consciously because we're so ingrained and so used to this online shopping behavior that we do now. These have all become subconscious things. And our brains kind of work on a red flag system, right? So the more oddities that our subconscious notices as we look at something, the more weird we feel or the less sure we feel. And so these trust symbols and trust icons and things like that, we're used to seeing them. We don't consciously register that they're there, but our subconscious notices when they are and when they're not. So again, all we're doing by not having trust on this site is creating more red flags to purchase. And we're not saying this site's untrustworthy because it's a legit brand.
Yeah, the people do trust it. Because I would never, if on the site, I would never look for this type of thing. But
that doesn't incorporate all their buyers.
And in me, like, you always tease me about it, but like I'm very particular and want things neat and lined up and things like that. And this just seems really messy to me.
The scientific term for that, or the medical term, is anal.
Yeah, or OCD. Yeah, it just like literally this is Yeah, I feel like stressed out looking at it, or just feel like anxious because it's way too much.
Yeah.
So if I feel like that, then I know other people feel like that too. And they could easily correct it.
Mm-hmm. Other fine goods, kind of generic. I mean, maybe it's like satire in terms of the way they, talk to their audience, but
there's not a single description on any one of them.
No, and you have to hover again. At least here they're consistent and no hero images, but other products were not consistent in that regard.
They are saying jackets, but you don't know that unless you hover over it. Like,
yeah,
that text should actually be there.
You don't have to have the price. We like the price, but you don't have to. But at least show them what they are.
Yeah, I like the price too, because then you're qualifying the click.
Sorting hat.
You're qualifying the click. Like, why have someone click on an item that's $80 if they clearly aren't going to spend up to $80? Maybe they're going to spend 30 or 40. So you've wasted their time and that click, and then they got to go backwards and then re-look for something, when if you qualify it before they do it, when they click on it, they're much more likely to dive deeper into that category and end up purchasing something, which is exactly what you want them to do.
Yep. Now, another thing they are doing really well is they're using icons for their small, medium, large, or sizing without using a drop-down.
I think they could make the color more apparent.
I totally agree.
Like,
I don't think they need the parentheses. Yeah, I mean, a forest is the color of the jacket, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not super clear.
No.
So you have to actually like figuring it out.
Yeah. And then, we do this on our sites. We've tested it. This is a good thing to do. The scarcity on sizing is cool as long as it's legit. But I think you could get rid of the parentheses. It makes it easier to read. Also, the greenish, or was it black? Green?
Yeah.
I think you could darken that up and make it easier to read.
Yeah, black on white is definitely easier.
But this, if you're using a drop down, this is the way to go. Swatches or for color or boxes for the sizing, things like that for your variations. Much better for conversion for add to cart for usability.
We say 5 options or less. So they have less than 5 options. This is better. If you have more than 5 options, like say you have 10 colors, you would not want to use swatches. Then you would use a drop down. So 5 items or less, you use a swatch. It's much easier for a person to just like see what they want, click it. Over that, you don't want to put 10, 12 options on there and make them,
And if someone did have 10 to 12 options, the first thing we would do is look at an 80-20 of their sales and see, do you really need 10 to 12 options of color? Because 9 times out of 10, it's not the case.
Exactly.
So that would be another thing. So let's go ahead and add to cart. Let's take the next level, okay? So here we've got a picture saying we added to cart, and then below it says we added to the cart, and little kitty normal pops up. So, we use a variety of different things. Sometimes it's a side slide drawer cart, sometimes different things. But, if you don't want to take them to the cart, you want them to continue shopping or whatever, that's fine. The good thing they did here was they did acknowledge and let you know clearly that your item was added to the cart. This is something we want to test, right? Like,
yeah.
Is it cute or does it actually increase conversions?
I mean, typically the way that we would do that is through the data. We would find out if their average buyer orders more than one item. If 80% of the people on the site only order one item, you'd be way better off taking them to the cart or having the side slide cart come out, give them the option to click off of it and keep shopping rather than force them to click again to go to their cart. So again, that would be the edge case. If 80%, or it's probably higher than that, 90% of their users buy one item and 10% buy 2 or more, then what you're doing right now is you're forcing the 80 or 90% of people that buy one item, go to their cart, check out, to then click again to say, yes, I added that to my cart. Now I want to view my cart. Then I want to go to my checkout. Rather than at this point, you would already be on it. The next click would literally be your, starting the purchase process.
So to continue on with that, this is also now our hierarchy of focus is out of whack, right? Because they've already added it to cart. They're not going to add to cart again, but the view cart, which is the next progression in the series, is hard to read. It's small and it's not in their face. So, they click the button, they're on mobile, whatever. I want to go to my cart, click up here, whatever. But, you know, if they were going to do this, I would say at the very least, the add to cart button should probably change to a grayed out version, and this should be emphasized.
Yes. Yeah. The add to cart should definitely be all or done.
Yeah.
Go to mobile and just see what it looks like on mobile real quick. Let's see if it refresh it.
One thing we noticed on the first time we were here, now we've got some pages cached, is that it's a very slow site as well.
Yeah, so scroll up.
I'm up.
Really? So it still says add to cart, and can you, there you go. Yeah, so at this point, view all product.
The only thing I can do is go up here.
Yeah, honestly, the mobile size is worse.
Yeah, mobile is
probably
real bad here, where most of their traffic is.
Yeah, we should look at this too in a minute, but. So go ahead and go to their cart real quick. Let's see how bad it is.
Oh.
Well, right away you can't see
what you added.
But this is saying select your
free gift because we're over $80 and that's what their header up here says. You get a free phone case. But you know, on desktop, if we get rid of this, oh, why didn't it take me back? I gotta refresh again.
Oh,
okay, let's get off my piece.
Yeah, it's a PC.
There we go. Okay. Well, now
the cart page is terrible too.
Yeah. So here's what happens when you're in the cart. Okay. It shows you this free thing, which is huge. Which there's nothing wrong with offering a free item if they hit over a certain threshold, but the size of this.
I can't see what I have in my cart anymore. So you're literally forcing me to move away from that. Plus all the choices above it, like in your cart, at this point, we treat the people that have added a cart different than a browser. So before the cart, we call them a browser. Once they've added an item to the cart, now they're a shopper. So you would want to treat them different. And one thing that you would do is not put all these choices across the top to distract them from actually finishing the purchase.
Yeah, and this is the exact same product. It's just each option is for a different style of phone, right? So yeah, I understand why they're doing it so that you select the one for your phone. However, you could have this coded correctly so that it's one icon and a drop down or a swatch or whatever to select your phone size or your phone style, and it would only take up a fourth or less of this much space. And again, allowing them to get down here, which is where they actually need to be. And obviously on mobile, it stacks all four of these images, which means you've got 2 scrolls minimum before you even get to this part, and another scroll to get down to checkout.
Yeah, which is why you're here, is to check out.
Yeah.
So a couple things here. One, update cart. That's like super ancient. Your cart should auto update.
Yeah, so this is why he means that is, so I just, I'm like, you know what? I love this cat guy jacket thing, Van Nirmal thing. I'm going to get one for Matt too. Okay, because we're clearly like, we are this demographic, right? So I love this coat. It'll look great over my t-shirt. However, I'm ready to spend $80. I just changed my quantity to 2. I'm the normal, shopper online who can't do math or me, and I go check out, and all of a sudden my price is now $160.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened? So I know I have to think about it. Ooh, do I really want to spend $160 on this jacket? And then I start having Matt talk in my head, and he's like, no, don't buy it. I'm like, yep, I'm done. So the auto update is super important because it takes the thinking process out and it prevents any surprises from scaring the shopper as they get closer to checking out.
Yeah, just like shipping, taxes, and discounts calculated at checkout. Basically what you're telling them is
your price is going up.
Yeah, at this point your price is going to go up. You don't know what the price is, which is terrible because now they're like, oh, it's not $80, it's $80 plus shipping, taxes, and the discounts are calculated. Well, what discount? Should I go look for a coupon or a discount before I check out?
They already know that shipping's the next step, even subconsciously. By calling attention to it in this way, you're making it more of a negative than they thought it was. They're already okay with the shipping because they know that's normal. But this sentence literally, and we've tested it, we've proven it, it's legit that it actually creates more abandonment simply by having it, because there's 3 things they have to consider.
I think they said shipping over a certain amount. So then this is not even, if you're over the amount, like this text shouldn't show because shipping's free.
Yep.
Or it's not really free. The site owner is paying for it. So we like to say we pay shipping rather than free shipping, but the word free is powerful too. So either one works. Basically on this page, they've lost their hierarchy of focus too. You have 2 black buttons and the yellow one. So what sticks out here is the yellow button.
And that's honestly the worst thing they could possibly click.
Yeah, and I literally have
We love PayPal, but this is terrible usage of your of offering PayPal.
Yeah, we always, we've tried thinking that PayPal, because it's about 30% of your users will use it, is going to boost your conversion rate.
From the cart.
At this point right here, it literally hurts your conversion. Because, well, there's a couple of reasons, and we can only make the assumptions. But one, if they click the PayPal button and then they don't complete, they leave, you don't have any information on them to run your abandoned cart campaigns, which could be shop message, carts guru, email, any of those things, because they haven't given you their information yet. Once they get to the checkout page, they use Ajax that will actually recover their people's email as they put it in, and then you can start your abandoned campaigns from there. So technically, you really want to move the PayPal button to the payment page, which is after the shipping page.
And you can do that. That's an easy piece, a little snippet of code you drop in there,
yep,
and it pushes it over. But most people, when they turn on PayPal, they put it here on the cart and they put it on the customer information page, the first page of the checkout. You don't capture your customer info. So now if they leave from here and they don't purchase, all you can do is cart retargeting, DCR, right? That's it. You have no other form of abandonment recovery, which is the biggest wins in your business, is capturing that highest buyer intent traffic to bring them back, right?
Because a lot of times people think, oh, that's the other thing. They offer them a discount to get them to come back. Well, the more fragmented our life gets, a lot of times we don't leave because we were not okay with that price. Yeah. And a lot of people now, these stores have conditioned people to automatically abandon the checkout and wait for a discount. So the first email, first discount that we send out, or the first contact that we send, it's, hey, we noticed that you left. Would you like to come back and finish your purchase? And that email or that shop message or that SMS retarget is always the highest, largest generator of revenue. So why at that point would you give them a discount when more than half of your people are willing to pay the price? They just get distracted. Someone walks by an office, or their Facebook notification goes off and they go down that rabbit hole, or whatever it is. They didn't abandon because of price, at least 50% of the time. So you giving them 10% off to come back and buy in your very first notification or contact, like you're literally giving away 10% of your revenue to these people that are more than willing to pay for the regular price.
Yeah. So again, none of that matters if you let them go to PayPal right here.
Yeah.
Because you can't do any of it. So we're going to go ahead and check out. Okay. Now we're in the checkout. And at least they have a static logo here.
Yep.
But it's not consistent with their other logo.
No. And right here, this is a spot where you're getting ready to transact with them. You should, it does say $160 now. So
well, it doesn't
get an $80 jacket.
Yeah, it doubled on us. I don't know why.
Yeah, and don't buy me forest. I want blue.
No, the only color they have is forest.
That's true.
But here's another thing. Oops, it's going to take me somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so so I'm back here in the checkout. First of all, logo, right? Logo is not the same as the rest of the site. The first thing, or the biggest problem about the Shopify checkout, is that it's controlled, right?
Yeah.
And they're very limiting in what Shopify allows you to do to it. But one of the biggest things you have to do is make your Shopify checkout look the same, styling-wise, font-wise, logo-wise, as consistent as you can with the rest of your site, so there's no disconnect when they move into the checkout. This is where we're asking for money and personal information. So it needs to not have any red flags raised. And so 2 red flags right here. Number 1, the logo's different.
Yeah, and they can help right there too with trust. Like that would be a good spot to put your phone number for customer service or your email up there. So, hey, have any questions? Contact us. Because at this point.
Yeah, so what he's saying is put the logo and then right next to it on the image, put the phone number or support email or support contact info as part of the same image. And you upload this image separately in your checkout settings so you can have a different logo at checkout than you do have at on the rest of the site.
Yeah, and you basically make the image in Photoshop and then upload it. But what that does, it's not going to raise your people contacting you. It literally says at this point of contact where they're going to start filling out, giving you their information, you're saying, hey, we're here if you need to contact us. That makes them feel better. That gives them, they go, oh, I'm not going to have to search for how to get a hold of them. They make it easy to figure that out. Another, like, I don't understand all of this text.
Well, it's like they're throwing it looks like a warning.
Yeah.
And that scares me right there.
Yeah. And this is it's information at the wrong time. They should have figured out a way to convey this through the site so that when you get here, it's just fill out your information and move on. People are okay with giving you information as long as they know why. So right here, even where the email is, we always check form errors and tag them on our sites. And literally in the email section here, by saying email for order notifications or for shipping details. You can put that micro text in there, and you don't need to have Shopify Plus to do that. You do it through the languages settings. And so then once you tell the people why you're asking for their email here,
they give you a legit
way
email.
Less errors, and they give you a good email.
Same thing with phone field. So email we say for order confirmation, and then for phone field we say for shipping updates.
Yeah.
And so you get the real numbers. Now, if you don't need it, apparently my wife's trying to get a hold of us right now. So this kind of stuff, obviously they're asking for it because they're having a problem with it. They wouldn't, otherwise they wouldn't. So they must be getting a lot of orders that are in a foreign language or whatever. But if you need to have your address in English, they could literally figure out a way, to put it down in here.
Yeah, I could even say email English only.
Yeah, it'd be super easy to not scare people away on this kind of thing right before you're trying to get their most sensitive information.
Another thing is reducing the number of form fields always helps conversion. I doubt that their audience is a lot of company owners. Like, I could be totally wrong, but it doesn't strike me that demographic is a bunch of entrepreneurs. So typically, you only ask for the information that you have to have. You don't have to know what company this person has in order to
fulfill the product,
to fulfill their order. So that form field should be totally gone, less fields for people to fill out. And it's literally one click. You just, instead of making it optional, you just hide it and it's done.
And these are good things you can do, right? Everything we said right here, like optimizing your email, the phone field, the ad or the company.
You can add the microtext in those. Yep. Literally, you'll go to online store, click on it, go to themes, and then there's edit and customize. You click on edit, go to the edit languages, click on that, and then you
scroll down. Control
F, type in checkout, and it'll bring this up.
And that's actually the same place where you can upload your checkout logo too.
Yeah. Well, no, that would be settings and then.
Oh, one step back. Yeah. So, and then the same thing for the phone field. You just search down below the email field and you'll find the phone field. Now, see, the thing is there's a lot more you can do here. Most Shopify checkouts look just like this without this stuff, right? There's a lot more that can be done to optimize this because, again, there's no trust. It's just blah, and it doesn't actually incentivize or help the person complete the purchase. Same thing here. By having this field showing, it causes people to look at it before they check out and go, man, should I find a discount? Should I go somewhere? It's just so in your face. Now, should you have the discount field? Absolutely. But what we do is we actually suppress it as well. Same thing we do over here is we suppress this line 2 field because you don't need it unless they need it, right? So you allow them to click it out. And we combine these things so it's less overwhelming to look at, makes it seem like there's less fields to fill out and make it simpler. We can add trust icons. There's a whole lot you can do if you know what you're doing, okay? Show you real quick what an optimized Shopify checkout can look like. Go in here. And let me just get to the cart real quick. But see, there's tabs like we talk about using. Slide cart like we talk about using. All right, so here is a optimized checkout. See, it's got breadcrumbs up here that tell them what step of the process they're in and allows them to click back. Like Matt was just saying, it shows, hey, call us, or you can put your email address here. The email field, like we said, has the micro text. And you can see how we suppressed the promo code field and the address line to field, or they have to click it to expand it. So it's there if you want it. We actually add some why buy from us type text and trust badges, and then Amazon style customer reviews, as well as now they're getting ready to move into the payment type information, and we want them to realize, hey, we do accept the different payment options.
The other thing is, people, when they click a button, they need to know where they're going. And so by changing the text right there and kind of giving an icon, they know right away, okay, I'm going to the shipping method when I click this. And even that micro commitment helps compared to if they think that the next button, they're going to like pay for it. So every single step that they go through, you're letting them know where they're going to land when they click that button. So if you go back to the cart real quick, you can check the buttons, and you'll see like literally even that arrow, and it says proceed to check out one item.
This is dynamic. So if I'm going to 2 items, and see how the price changed?
It auto updates. It doesn't require you to click another button in order to update it.
Okay, so again, if we go back to the checkout now, everything's been updated. Things are minimized. Now let's look at this. You've got this, and you've got this, okay? It's just more trust, and it really is, that's all this comes down to, is trust and then ease of use and filling it out. We simplify it, ask for the address, the shipping method. It's got the little icon. This, believe it or not, this thing makes a big difference. Yeah. People are like, oh yeah, right. No,
and then
actually,
adding the payment icons underneath it, you'd be surprised how many people, and you probably, if you're a store owner, get asked, hey, do you accept PayPal? Yeah. Those different things. Here, if you scroll up onto that button, the same page, back to scroll up right there, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't give them any indication what's happening.
No. And the other thing here, like, so one, they have this, which isn't good, but what they don't have, which is good, is the PayPal button icon isn't showing right here on this page. It was in the cart, which is bad, but it's also not showing here, which a lot of people do. They'll have their PayPal, their Google Pay, their Apple Pay, or whatever icons, Amazon Pay right here. And you don't want that. You actually want it on the payment page, right where it says credit card. They can check the radio button, it'll select PayPal or Amazon Pay or whatever when they're ready to make that payment decision. And like Matt said, we put the trust icons right below the button here, and you can tell them, you can still have it. This could be Amazon Pay or Google Pay or whatever else, and let them know, yeah, don't worry, we do take your payment, just wait, we'll give it to you when it's the right time.
Yeah.
And so looking at this site, it's obviously a good site, it's a good brand, but there's still a lot of things that are not working the way that they should. And all these things are only going to make the store perform better.
Yeah.
And then we data tag everything. We would really get into it and be able to really dial it in contextually based on this specific site.
But the goal is, the reason why you put up a store is to make money.
Yeah.
So if you can make a lot more money from the same traffic by implementing these best practices, or even, e-commerce in general is overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff to do. So having these best practices in your back pocket is going to help your store when you're competing with other people for sales.
Yeah. So guys, we're looking right over here at comments and stuff. People are saying this is awesome. They really enjoy it. That's great. We like doing these things. Like, this is what Matt and I like to geek out on. Like, we have a lot of fun with it. But like I said at the beginning, one of the things we always get asked is, how do I get you guys to look at my store and tell me what's wrong with it? Because it's one thing to see someone else's, but I want to know what's wrong with my store, right? And we have decided, after talking with the team and everything, we've got a little bit of an idea for you guys. We've got something that will work for you, and I'd like to share it with you real quick. It's nothing crazy, but because you're asking, I figure why not show it to you right now, right? So let me pull up. Okay, so you should be seeing a big old Build, Grow, Scale logo right now, which, if you don't know, is the company that Matt and I own, and it's the company that is responsible for all of this crazy, e-commerce stuff that we're doing, all right? And what we've done is, people are saying like, hey, how do I get my store critiqued? I want you guys, I want Matt, I want Tanner, I want your team. Just look at our site, and I want you to rip it apart. And of course, you guys would rather have us rip it apart privately most of the time. You don't really want it public like this where we're going to circulate it on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. So I totally get it, and you want to know what to improve. Now, after talking about it with our team and everything else, we figured out something pretty cool that I want to show you. So what we do is, in our case, this is a critique, but when we do it for our clients, for our members, for our customers, we call it an audit, okay? Just a different term for it, right? And it's basically a formal critique of a store where we really deep dive into it and figure out all the different aspects, go through every page of the site, every function of the site, and really see what's going on with it. And we take it really page by page, like I said, but in a much deeper and more personal way than we're doing it publicly, right?
Yeah, we can go through the different elements.
And specific to your site, right? Because obviously
it's going to take longer than an hour and a half.
Yeah, so. Totally. So the only difference would be that we would do yours in private, really, and you wouldn't have to share it with the world. What we've decided to do is make some time available with our team to do it private audit for you guys if that's what you're interested in, all right? So we're going to do this. It's going to be for 25 stores only. Okay, now this is not a normal service that we offer. That's what I want to clarify that. If it was, we wouldn't have this limit, okay? This Build, Grow, Scale does not typically offer public services, okay? It's not something we do. We have a program for our paid members. We have a program for our clients that we actually partner with their brands, and that's all we do, okay? We do this for fun, and we decided, hey, we got so many people asking, let's try offering this as a potential service that we could roll out, and if it works out, we will. But we don't want to overcommit ourselves, so we're going to start with 25 stores only. When you go to the page, the link that's going to be in the comments below this or the description on the video or even right here on the page, you go to the link. If the link is up, the link is working, the page is working, then you're good. If it's down, then that means we pulled the offer, okay? But for right now, it's going to be for 25 stores only, all right? And this is going to be by application only, all right? Now, don't freak out. I don't mean some crazy blown-out application. I literally mean we're going to ask you a few questions about who you are, where you're at in your business, and your store, okay, so that we know that we can help you, all right? There are some stores out there that we can't help or that we're not interested in helping. And if that's the case, we're not going to waste your time. We're not trying to sell you something crazy. It's either we can help you or we can't. And if we can't, we'll tell you that right up front. And if we can, we'll tell you that as well. Now, so you got to go fill out the application. It's a few questions. I think it's like 7 questions. It'll give us a little bit of general information. And then if you are approved, okay, the cost if you're accepted is $100. And that means if we say, hey, we can help you. Would you like us to do an audit? You say yes. At that point, it would cost you $100. If we say, hey, we can help you and you don't want it, it doesn't cost you a dime. You're not committing anything by filling out the application, okay? So, however, if you do get accepted, if it do pass, and you do say, yes, I do want it, then it's going to cost you $100. And the whole reason for that is to offset the cost of having one of our team members who does this stuff for a living, works with us every day, go through the site and, offset the cost of having them do that with you. And when we do it, guys, this will be a private video call, just like Matt and I are sitting like this, only you would be talking to one of our revenue optimization experts, and they would be going through your site the same way they go through a client site. You'd be able to ask them questions. They'd be able to ask you questions as you're looking at your site and really basically go through it and tell you everything that's good and bad.
It's Alex's turn, right?
Yeah, Alex is going to, and Alex is our lead revenue optimization expert.
Longer than anyone else.
Yeah,
so.
And he's the guy that, he does it for all of our big sites, all of our big clients. And he's actually, the reason we're doing this is he offered. He's like, hey, I have extra slack in my schedule right now. You don't have anything to task me with. Why don't you let me try this? We said, sure. Okay, so Alex is actually, he started out as one of my coaching students, came through, built his own stores. Then he was so good at what he did, we said, hey, would you like to come work for us? And he loved it and jumped on board and has been with BGS ever since. So again, if you're interested, then it's going to cost you $100. Normally we charge our clients a percentage of their gross revenue every month. So this is a drop in the bucket compared to what we would charge those guys. All right. And then again, all you got to do is click the link in the description or the link on the screen or wherever, somewhere around this video, there's a link for you guys to click and take you to the page where you fill out the application. And then how that works is we'll review the application. We'll email you back and say, hey, yeah, we can help you. Would you like to do the audit? Or, hey, sorry, we can't. Here's some resources that may help you better, right? If you do want it, it'll be $100, and then you'll schedule a time with Alex. You'll hop on the call just like this, and you'll be able to go through your site, okay? So all you got to do here, again, is click the link in the description or the link on the screen, and we'll get you taken care of, all right? So let me stop this share. Okay, so guys, like I said, that was it. Not some crazy, over-the-top pitch or anything. We thought we'd try this out. We're really excited about it. We've done it for a few other people after the first couple critiques, and every single person we've done it for has been blown away. They've loved their results. They've, one change has made huge increases, and they're like, oh crap, I gotta go back and make all the changes now.
Yeah, so plus the first hour and a half of the video, you can use those principles as well to apply them.
True.
Just to improve your store.
And that would actually be a better thing to do. Like, take the video, go ahead and apply, but while you're waiting for your application to come back, take something from the video, go apply it to your store, do it again, do it again, do it again. Get a bunch of those out of the way so that when you do get on a call with Alex and he goes to critique your site, he's looking even deeper at more advanced stuff rather than the surface level easy fixes.
Yeah, I mean, even the stores that we've been on for over a year, we're still doing this over and over and over. It never ends.
We audit sites weekly, guys. Yeah. We don't audit them one time.
Yeah, cleaning up the store and getting rid of some of the more glaring errors will just allow him to see things better so that he can pick out the, the bigger levers.
Yeah. So guys, that was it for this critique. A couple things. Number one, if you enjoyed this, please post a comment. Let us know that you enjoyed it and that you'd like to see more. If you have a suggestion for a site you'd like us to critique, go ahead and post that as well. We want to keep doing this, but only if you guys like it as well. And then if you liked it and you're like, man, I really like these guys, I'd like to have Build, Grow, Scale critique my site, then click the link in the description or on the screen or wherever the link is right around this video and fill out the application. We'll get back to you. Again, if you do get accepted, it'll cost you $100, but I guarantee you it will be way more. It'll be the best $100 you ever spent on your store. Because we will deliver, I promise, in terms of the audit. And you will have stuff that will make you way more than that the first change you make. So with that, guys, had a great time. You had fun too, right?
Yeah, always do.
We enjoy this stuff. So with that, we'll see you guys later, and we'll catch you on the next audit. So go ahead, post a comment below and let us know what you thought. See ya.